I think part of it, from my personal experience and from stories that I've heard in my personal lives, and just to be clear, not based on like statistical research, I don't feel like it's talked about in general. And I think there are some spaces that are just very conservative, and sometimes it can come across like anything like that is bad, anything sexual is bad. And so I think that can be confusing in terms of, does that mean I'm bad? Have I engaged in it, you know? And there's a lot of kind of judgment or shame, not even necessarily from the society's part. I think when you're young, you're not sure, like your sense of self is very much like around what the world thinks of you, right? So like our brains are still not developed at that age.
Oh, we're very
it's not
impressionable.
Yes, so it's not like mum said I'm a bad person. It's like, I don't know what happened. This person seems angry at me. Am I a bad person? You know, any child can think that, but if it's spoken about, and if it's out there, and if I know that it's a topic, I've got the language for it because I've heard the words at home. I've heard them being spoken by someone I know, the people I imitate, the people I knew how to speak from. I think I'm more likely to have, even on a pure like muscle memory level, I can say that I've got access to words and sentence structures and thoughts on this topic. And I think that in itself is a barrier that's lifted, that would be lifted if it's
having the language for it.
Yeah. And I don't mean language in terms of literal words, but even like, these are not naughty words.
Yeah.
And it's like, I remember trying to talk to my parents about these things at a young age, and it was like just saying the word. I remember I could only say them in English. I spoke Tamil, I could write Tamil, and I was writing a letter to my mum, and I was trying to, and I know I think I was trying to say the word kiss, and I know the Tamil word, but I couldn't write it. Like, it was certain words would only come out in English because that I knew the words, I had the language, but and I didn't at the same time, in terms of like, it's not so much the language, but like permission to use it in this context. And it was like I had that permission when I said those words in English somehow, because the world uses them in English. You know, they're normalized in that context more weirdly. Yeah. And I didn't know why, but I knew that was the case because I was like, I remember having a moment where I had to choose between the words. Like, how do I communicate this?